My name's Caleb Durward here with Frank Lepore,
We are
commentating for the top 8 of the TCGPlayer Max Point 50K Championship.
That is correct. We are here in the quarterfinals. One interesting thing to note about this quarterfinals is that every matchup has a mono blue devotion deck in it.
Right. We could have a quad mono blue top 4.
In the top 4, and then 2 mono blues in the finals, and then a mono blue winner. These are all possibilities.
My prediction yesterday that there would be some amount of black devotion in the top 8,
right.
Completely incorrect. There is none. None
I
amounts.
thought the mono black aggro deck was actually devotion, but it's not. It's mono black aggro.
Correct. Yep.
So
are we still?
I think we're still live, but I guess we're just going to the.
Are we still live? Okay. All right. Well, we lost the feed, but we're still talking here.
Yeah,
sure. That makes sense.
Wanted to show off the if we could get Rusty to change the Robert Cucunato deck list from mono black devotion to mono black aggro, that would be awesome. Whenever he gets a chance. Other than that, the looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devotion decks in the top 8. How do we feel about that? Do we feel devotion?
What's the fifth one? Are you talking about red green ramp?
Red green ramp. I presumably has Nykthos in it. Does it have 4 Nykthos?
I don't think so, no. And I don't think those decks... Oh, you're talking about... Yeah, it's got 4 Nykthos.
Yeah, that's definitely a devotion deck.
That's true. 1 Nylea.
All right, so we have a Rakdos Cackler leading off for Robert Cucunato here.
Blisteringly fast start.
Blisteringly. My fingers need bandages.
Dustin Biggers.
And I think they're going to go fix the glare on that side for Dustin Biggers. But presumably that's either a Cloudfin Raptor or a Judge's Familiar.
I think I've played against Rob before. I think he was playing Reanimator in Legacy. I could be incorrect. But anyway, we're playing Standard now. Rakdos Cackler is serving. Probably going to see his second main phase, another threat. There's a Pack Rat. Pack Rat very good at pressuring the mono blue devotion deck, especially turn 2 on the play, which is exactly what we have here. It's going to be very hard for Dustin Biggers to keep up. It's a Tidebinder Mage.
Yeah, Pack Rat's real tricky. Pack Rat is the one card you want against the mono blue deck, and if you can actually start getting the Pack Rat rolling before they can pick up their their Thassa's or the Master's Waves, like you can actually just overwhelm them and
right. When you're on the draw,
put the pressure on. It looks like he missed a land drop, right? Otherwise,
but he still has a Pack Rat.
Yeah, so
he is keeping up with the Pack Rat tempo. Yeah.
So regardless of whether he made it or cast it, the Pack Rat tempo is still, the pressure is still on.
Right. Now if he hits his 3rd land drop, the Pack Rat curve is still on pace.
But Dustin's like, I can attack as well, and instead of keeping a blocker back. Is that another Pack Rat?
Interesting, because I guess he's expecting if Rob misses the 3rd land drop again, which is what happened. Now the Pack Rats can't really serve without trading with the Tidebinder Mage.
And that's not what you want, because
that
actually puts you pretty far behind.
Tidebinder Mage is just green creatures, right?
Green or red. So
okay.
Yeah, you can hit a Rakdos Cackler with it.
Okay, cool. That's what it looked like. Dustin deciding what he wants to attack with this turn. I think you definitely attack. It's not necessary. It's not like set in stone what you attack with. A lot of different options here. Rob, despite missing a 3rd land drop, is still flooding the board with guys.
Yeah, like I mean, having 12 1-drops or 8 1-drops is really helpful when you don't have actually any more than 2 lands, because it gives you the opportunity to draw if you're not drawing lands, you're probably drawing creatures. So.
Cracking in for 4. Nightveil trigger. Oh, that was perfect. Dustin's hand full of land, not many cards he can cast.
And then he hits a Nightveil Spectre.
And then he hits a second Nightveil Spectre.
And if you're Dustin, you just have to cast it, right?
No, he also has Master.
Oh, well then you just cast the Master.
Right,
yeah, that seems good too.
Like you could wait a turn, but casting the Master here seems really good.
Yeah, especially because
like if you waited a turn, you would get 3 more elemental tokens, but
and if
that
Rob
seems
hits
greedy.
a land, you're taking a lot of damage.
Right. And it's already 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elemental tokens.
Yeah.
So Dustin's like, I'm fine with 14 14 power and elemental tokens,
And
it all goes away.
Sorry, that master has to pay the ultimate price as far as I'm concerned.
So if he had played the Nightveil Spectre, the ultimate price wouldn't have been able to kill his blocker,
Right.
and he'd be able to eat a pack rat in this attack.
I think he's still going to eat a pack rat.
You think he trades off the 2/2? The 2/2 is keeping one of
The
Rob's
Rakdos
2/2s
Cackler's
tapped. Yeah.
Interesting. No, Rob just took 8.
Just
it looks
takes
like.
it.
Just goes to 8.
Okay, Frostburn Weird is a pretty good draw here because he can curve out
And you can
with the
block
Nightveil
everything.
Spectre that he already has.
Yeah, you can just play land Nightveil Spectre, Frostburn Weird. And it actually gives you a pretty decent defense, too. Because you can either block the Torment Hero and kill it.
The Frostburn Weird is also going to evolve the Cloudfin Raptor.
Right?
He could just...
I don't think he's going to play it pre-combat,
2
though.
blockers. That doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, he's not going to play it at all. He's not going to attack with the Cloudfin Raptor.
Yeah, I don't think that makes sense. He could or he could, 7 his opponent down to lethal next turn. I believe. It took 2 down to 11.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty conservative play.
Yeah, he could have 7'd him down to 6 with enough flyers to lethal him.
That's a lot of dudes.
And I don't think he would have taken lethal on the crackback either. From 8 life. With 2 blockers.
Right.
Yeah, he would have just taken 4.
No, he would have taken 4. Yeah, he would have went to 4. Like that's not really even that close.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Dustin should have been more aggressive.
Rob would have to have 2 removal spells that can kill very specific creatures.
And he only has 2
with
mana.
2 mana, right, exactly.
It's not very likely.
Yeah, Rob.
But he just has to pass the turn anyway.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Rob. I mean,
despite a turn 2 pack rat on the play, he just never hit that third land.
well, Dustin can't really win here. He's still going to give Rob another turn, but I don't think it's going to matter.
But I mean, he's locking the game up this turn.
Well, maybe it depends on what. Nope. All right. He's
That puts Rob to lethal next turn, if you count the Cloudfin.
That's a free land. He can actually cast the land and play a pack rat. Yep. Or play the land and play a pack rat. You know what I meant. You know what's going on.
Frank Lepore casting lands
And,
since.
yeah, and putting cards into play. You can, in my world, you can actually counter a land.
That'd be sweet. That's old school kitchen table magic.
That is, yeah.
Counter your
Does your
counter
land
your
use
island.
the stack?
Oh no, there wasn't a stack.
That's true.
Or I suppose there always was. Well, even though there wasn't with interrupts and stuff.
Oh, you're gonna have to go. Yeah, so that was.
Yeah, that's why interrupts existed.
Speaking of interrupts, zing! A gentleman just came by and asked if this is for Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
It was not.
He was incorrect.
Yeah, he was misinformed.
There were no
Dustin Biggers up a game.
And TCGPlayer is you can sell with us now. The public can actually sell with TCGPlayer. So if you guys are looking to sell Magic cards, don't use eBay. Come over to TCGPlayer, and you'll get literally 3 clicks, and you're sold. You list your cards on the site, like Troll and Toad, Empire cards, Channel Fireball. You would have a name in the list just like they do. And you literally just name the card you want to sell. You list the condition, and you list how many you have and your price, and that's pretty much it.
Lower fees than eBay, easier than eBay.
Yeah.
People that come to TCGPlayer are looking for Magic cards specifically.
So you don't have to enter a description. You don't have
It's
to
all
upload
just
your own
more
pictures.
convenient.
And I used to sell with eBay a lot, and now I just exclusively sell with TCGPlayer because it's just so much easier.
This top 8 is so exciting. I'm glad that there's a.
I'm glad there's no Mono Blue Devotion mirror matches like within the bracket.
Right. Hopefully, at least one non-mono blue deck wins the quarterfinal matchup, so we don't have to.
That would be fantastic.
We can avoid a mono blue mirror until the finals.
How quick do you think we would put the camera on that matchup?
It would just start there.
Lightning.
The camera would spawn over that match.
There would be a lightning strike.
I kind of hope Travis Limbert wins his quarterfinal matchup because I would like to see this.
So would I. We haven't seen a single red-green list.
Right.
And despite being a Nykthos-based list, the thing I don't like is like when a single land is so dominant in format. You know, like one land that you can play in every deck.
It does sweet things. Have you ever untapped a Nykthos with a Voyaging Satyr?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you guys are interested in that, you can check out my article from Monday. It's a blue-green devotion list. I was untapping for days, son.
Yeah.
I was overloading
Very,
some cyclonic riffs.
very sweet interaction.
That was juicy. So we're just waiting for Robert and Dustin to shuffle up. Maybe get a little sideboarding action in.
I wonder if they have any interesting sideboard options, actually. You can take a look at that. For mono black aggro, yeah, Dustin Biggers actually has triple Omen Speaker that he can bring in. That seems like a pretty awesome card against such a fast, aggressive deck with
Dustin,
1 black, 2 1s.
He can also bring in his 1 Curse of the Swine and make all of his 1/1s into 2/2s.
That's probably not happening.
You're right.
What do you think he's bringing in Curse of the Swine against? Maybe the red-green ramp deck?
Oh,
Kill
yeah,
it like
definitely.
a Polychronos and
and like an Arbor Colossus or something.
yeah, same
Yeah,
card.
that seems good. Or it's also good against like Mistcutter Hydras because they have a hard time dealing with that guy.
Curse is a blue card, right? It targets, right?
No, it sacrifices. Right?
I'm pretty sure Curse targets X creatures. I don't think you can
Are
target
you
a
sure?
Mistcutter Hydra.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Apparently, we should have read LSV's spoiler spotlight. He talked about this card.
You're gonna be right. I think you're right.
Anyway, Robert's sideboard has 3 Doomblade. Very cut and dry. 4 Duress, 3 Doomblade, 4 Dark Betrayal, 4 Lifebane Zombie.
Oh, it does target. Why wouldn't it target? That makes total sense. Why did I think? Why did I think it didn't target?
That's okay.
Look, they're showing it right now. Thank you, Rusty. He's
Probably
like,
not a
"Here it is,
card in
guys."
this matchup. Yeah. Some Doomblades coming in for Robert. Some Omen Speakers coming in for Dustin. See if these switches make a difference. Kind of some minor alterations. For the most part, these decks, their main deck configuration is designed with synergy in mind, so it's not like they can change a whole lot of slots and retain what the deck is trying to
Right,
do.
exactly. That's specifically with mono blue and mono black devotion decks. Like every card in there has a very specific purpose.
Although the
And,
mono black deck here is not devotion.
No. Correct.
Yeah.
I was not trying to imply that at all.
Bob has a sweet beard. This is a red, bushy
I do too.
monstrosity. That's cool. We're not talking about you right now.
Why can't
We're talking
can
about
we?
Rob. Rob's on camera. We can see his beard at home.
That's true. You can. It looks very devilish.
His beard is being immortalized in this moment.
That's true.
Worth way more than the thousands of dollars he's making off this top 8.
That is worth more. In fact, we should actually offer to give him some more camera time for the money that he's going to win. Because it's worth more, right? So we should actually see if we can split that, you and I.
That is an idea.
We'll think about it.
I think I see a Cyclonic Rift in Dustin's hand. It's a pretty saucy card.
Tormented Hero on turn 1. He's got a little mini drain life.
Oh,
on
it looks like there's a Frostburn Weird there.
that is a
God,
tough card to deal
Frostburn
with.
Weird is so good against this aggressive black deck.
2. And then he goes Frostburn Weird, and that is hard.
Okay,
Another pack rat.
and he has a 3rd land this time.
Frosty.
Like I said in game 1, a turn 2 pack rat is a very good way of pressuring the mono blue devotion deck
If you get a land.
if you get a 3rd land, which he
And,
has here.
Oh, that's not bad.
Interesting.
Watch, he's going to hit a Nightveil Spectre just like Dustin did last game. Oh, never mind. That's a Nightveil Spectre.
The Nightveil Spectre Mirror. Of course it is.
It's the promo.
That's a Creation
Another Tormented
Demon.
Hero and oh no, it's a demon. Okay,
All of these cards that Rob is playing look way worse than more pack rats to me.
that's true. I don't. Yeah, it seems like the pack rats would just get, especially because Dustin. Dustin doesn't have a way to deal with them. Like I think that's the biggest caveat is that like, his deck doesn't have answers, so you just make pack rats until the end of time.
Caveat. Stop making up words, Frank.
I made a sad face. No one can see it at home, but I made it.
Demon serving for 6.
I think Rob just doesn't like. Oh well, that's interesting. Why don't we just make another pack rat? Maybe he might have a removal spell.
Yeah, if he
don't know, Rob's
that
in the
makes
top
that makes
8, I'm
sense. If he's got like a Doomblade here,
Yeah,
I
he
definitely like hard casting a pack rat instead of
Because there's no
discarding.
difference between hard casting a pack rat and making a pack rat in this situation.
Well, if he kept the other pack rat, if he kept this in his hand, then he could go 5th land, discard, make a pack rat, cast one, curve out with 5 mana better. It happens sometimes.
But he can't. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's if he doesn't have an alternate plan this turn.
Right.
We got Nightveil Spectres on board for days.
Not many days.
I mean, like
This is
days.
actually the last day of the tournament, so hopefully
for today.
hopefully not too many days.
Nightveil Spectres for today, son.
Yeah, we were trying to
All day.
convince. We were trying to convince the TO to have a single elimination top 8.
Yeah, we were gonna
Like
have
one game per match.
How do you guys feel about that? One match and you're done. One and done.
We could feature every match.
Tell me how strong being on the play is in that one match. Dang it!
They no-stirred us.
Yes, we did not get our way. Frostburn weird.
Evolved my Raptors.
Man, evolution taking place right now in front of your eyes.
Darwin was right.
He was. He had it right. He knows what's up. There. So did we when we thought he had a removal spell.
Yep. That Cloudfin Raptor has paid the ultimate price.
It is. It looks like Rob is in good position this game, actually.
It looks very good. That Desecration Demon is going to make very short work of Dustin's life
because
total.
the thing about Dustin's deck is that every creature is relevant or necessary.
Kind of like we see a master in his hand.
That's
if he gets the fourth land to play it, it'll make the demon kind of a non-card.
Yeah, he gets 12 tokens from that. Well, 11 now, I guess.
Which is why he's already sacrificing. And he managed to bait a removal spell out of Rob's hand. If Rob gets too aggressive with his removal, then he won't have an answer to the master.
And Nightveil Spectre actually took an island, which is good for Rob because it lets him play something like if Rob actually managed to get like a Master of Waves, he can cast it for 4 tokens.
I saw a Doomblade in Rob's hand. It's going to be very good here.
Yeah.
I don't see Dustin not running out Master of Waves.
I don't either. Not for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 tokens. That seems good.
There's a Cyclonic Rift there too.
Rob's gonna be like, no, don't bother getting those 11 tokens. Or do you just tilt your opponent and make him get all the tokens first?
Make him like.
Can you get 11 tokens for me? Okay, and then he puts them in play.
Those
and
don't look like elementals.
Can you
I want
get
better
11 elemental tokens, please?
Nightveil Spectre cracks in. I don't know what they're talking about here.
Probably politics.
No, there's a discussion about the trigger. Okay, a card is indeed exiled.
Yoink. Oh, maybe they're talking about which one was on which.
Oh, sure, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because it's relevant if you try to kill one of them. He's like, all right, you got it.
Rob takes pity on him. Does not make him fetch out 11 elementals.
Made a pack rat, though. With a Rakdos Cackle. That's actually going to be insane when Robin taps and makes another pack rat. Like, that's really strong.
Right, because they'll all be 4/4s. They can just attack through those Frostburn weirds.
Plus, you have a Desecration Demon and a Nightveil Spectre, so, like...
And Dustin isn't representing much damage.
No,
like,
not at all.
Rob can just tap his team sideways.
Well,
Probably not
and Dustin has to block because he has 12 plus 18, 19, 20, 22 power on board.
Probably going to tap the Desecration Demon. Yeah, that's so awkward. Because he loses creatures to the attack, too. Just the 3 pack rats are going to be 4Xs, and that's going to be 12 damage by themselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So one of them has to get blocked. I don't think you don't send in the other 2 creatures. Yeah, it's just
or
Rob thinks otherwise. The thing about this attack is you can go Nightveil Spectre, block Nightveil Spectre, Frostburn Weird, block Tormented Hero, Frostburn Weird, block Pack Rat. Take 8 damage, go to 2, and then he gets to eat the Tormented Hero.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you lose a Frostburn Weird and Tormented Hero. But then he still has...
But this way, the Frostburn Weird is trading with the Tormented Hero, whereas if you just attack with the Pack Rats, you just eat a Frostburn Weird for free.
Yeah. And you go to 2 instead of 4, which is not that big of a deal.
Not a big deal. I think board presence matters more. I don't think it's going to matter too much in this game. This game looks pretty over to me.
No, Dustin's just chumping here.
He's making... Okay.
Big chumps.
He's doing different things than I thought he would. Going to take 6 and go to 4. I don't think there's a way for Dustin to get back in this game. Rob definitely making a pack rat here. Gets to eat 2 Frostburn Weirds.
Yeah, that's. I feel like it's all but over for Dustin in this game.
Yeah. Maybe there's a really sweet card on the top of Rob's library. Cast with this
I
Nightveil
don't know
Spectre.
what it could actually be. Unless it was like Mono Blue Wrath. Nope, that's it. All right, so 1-1. Rob evens it up.
No, yeah. Going to game 3.
Well, you got to correct me.
I didn't.
You were about to.
No, you were correct.
Nah, but I know that.
But I just assumed that you wouldn't be correct, so I was preparing myself to correct you.
You're a cold-hearted snake.
Wow, Red
Travis
Green Ramp has
Lindbergh
already won.
Takes down Sam Pardee.
I want to see that in the
Grand
semifinals.
Prix champion Sam Pardee. Travis Lindbergh beats him 2-0. Don't even with main deck Tidebinder mages, he beats the Mono Blue Devotion deck.
Yeah, but I mean the Red
Ball
Green
of-
Devotion deck is so powerful.
It is. It's really good. And speaking of Magic the Gathering, if you guys are interested in state championships, which you should be, we have 3 coming up next year. Limited state championships is in the spring, and it includes Theros and Born of the Gods. We have the modern state championships in the summer. So if you want to play some modern, get on out there and
who doesn't want to play some modern?
become your modern state champ. And in the fall, we have the standard state championships as usual. And it's going to be right after rotation, so you're going to be able to play with the latest set. So go out there and claim those state championship titles.
Standard. That boring old most popular format in Magic.
Right? It's very true. Tried and true.
Speaking of standard, we are back to the match.
All the way back there.
So Mono Blue Devotion is going to be on the play here.
Yep.
So a turn 2 pack rat, not as scary. It's still a good form of pressure, but I've seen Mono Blue Devotion race it on the play.
An old gentleman
It's very
just
hard-
asked me where
it's
the
very-
bathroom was, and I didn't have the heart to tell him no. So I just told him where it was.
I'm glad we could share that with the folks at home.
They wanted to know.
Frank Lepore, ladies and gentlemen.
Kind soul.
So yeah, who's on the play or the draw in this matchup? Very important.
I'd imagine, yeah, and Dustin's going to have a little advantage being on the play here because, they're both aggressive decks. And I can see, like, Rob going turn 1 Rakdos Cackler and then Dustin being able to tap it down with a Tidebinder Mage. I was going to say Tide Hollow Sculler. That's a good dude.
Yeah, that curve's way better for the Mono Blue deck, obviously.
Tide Hollow Sculler? Is that what we're-
No, the Tidebinder
Tidebinder
Mage line you were mentioning.
Yeah, that seems right, especially if you can get, like, a Cloudfin Raptor. Looks like a Frostburn weird.
Is there a second land in there?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple lands in there.
Yeah, if there's a second land, I keep 2 lands Frostburn Weird all the
There might
time.
be, I mean, I see a
this
couple
matchup.
lands, a couple more lands in there, actually.
And if there's a third, that's just awesome.
Yeah, then you that's just gravy. No 1-drop, though. That guy's so tormented.
Rob is led with
Poor
a
dude.
1-drop on 1 every single game.
Ah,
The 1-drops are actually not very good against the Mono Blue Devotion
shutting
deck.
him down at the Frostburn weird. Oh, another pack rat. That's a turn 2 pack rat 3 games in a row for Rob.
Turn 2 pack
Cucunato.
rat on the draw, not necessarily
As good.
as good, yeah. But he does have a Mutavault to potentially pump it
Correct.
once we get to the turn 4, so I think Mono Blue can race it. I'm not sure this is the draw to do it with. Oh, Thoughtseize. That's a really good sign for the Mono Blue deck.
It
That
is.
he's not making a pack rat here.
Yeah. Judge's Familiar and 2 Master of Waves.
Not the best
Oh,
Thoughtseize.
yeah, I mean, even if you take a Master Waves, he still has another Master Waves.
Okay. All right. I can respect not
Oh,
making a
double
pack rat a little
Thoughtseize.
bit more now.
That's fantastic. Ripping 2 Master of Waves out of Dustin's hand.
Right.
If he left him with 1, I would be like, okay, that's actually pretty good for Dustin. But
Right.
now Dustin
Especially
has,
since he didn't like deploy another pack rat that turn, so it was
Dustin
like
has 1 card and a
inhibiting
Judge's
his own
Familiar.
development.
And Nightveil and Judge's Familiar. That turns stats on.
Nightveil, very good draw.
Pretty sizable. I'll block.
Chumps. That's probably the best use
It
for
is-
Tormented Hero in
It
this
is because
matchup.
that guy's not going to be doing a lot. And if he has any kind of removal spell for the Nightveil Spectre, he's actually able to turn Thas off, which is nice.
It's looking very bad for Rob here.
I agree. I thought it was looking good after he got those 2 Masters taken away. But as usual, a couple of dirtily creatures are able to activate Thassa, which locks away games. And the thing is, even if Rob is able to get rid of some of these creatures, the Scry ability ensures that he's just going to draw more Devotion.
Dustin doing math. Bam!
And he says, yeah, this
Into the red zone.
These are going to come at you.
It's a lot of damage.
9, I'll go to 7. I guess get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I guess he's at 5. Oh, I don't think they calculated the second 2 damage from Thoughtseize.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Dustin might have this one. Because all Dustin
Rob
has
is
to do,
not dead yet.
yeah, but all he has to do is make Thassa unblockable.
Oh yeah. He is dead yet.
I forgot about that ability. He can block.
I was like,
no,
I was doing pack rat math.
Yeah.
As I was talking, I was
No,
like,
there's
all
no
right.
pack rat math to be had here. So at least one mono blue match made it to the finals.
Semifinals.
Semifinals, rather. That's what I meant.
Do we have any of the other match results? Can we get someone else on camera? It looks like Ben Weinberg is still playing his match. So
Okay, that would be excellent.
Yeah.
Ben Weinberg is playing against.
Esper Control.
Oh, the Orzhov. Oh no, it looks like.
This is not the Ben Weinberg match.
Oh well, this looks like the Orzhov aggro matchup.
It does. It does. And we have that deck list right here. Brendan Reginald. Reginbald.
Reginbald.
Okay, that's a sweet last name.
That's all right. It's like they took Reginald and added a B to it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Some imposing sovereigns, some daring
Look at all these
skyjacks.
judges familiars. Look at
We
this.
talked about this deck a little bit.
Yes.
Even though he's only got 2 lands in play, he just has
He
a
still
ton
has
of
5
guys.
cards.
I wish we knew life totals. Playing against Josh McClain on the right.
Yeah, I feel like they're entering them right now, so we will have them momentarily.
Sure.
There we go.
Orzhov aggro at 23, thanks to the 2-1 triggers. The Soldier of the Pantheon. That
And
guy does work.
It looks like they're in game 2. Josh McClain is up a game. $23 life for Brendan. Like every time he plays a Nightveil Spectre or a Frostburn Weird, he's going to gain 2 life from the Soldiers of the Pantheon.
It's interesting that the Frostburn Weird is tapped. I'm not really sure how that happened.
I don't either. I also
Because-
don't understand why he had to get rid of that. Oh, I guess he's attacking with the judges from there.
Because
Yeah, they have pro multicolor.
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Interesting attack. Maybe Josh just forgot.
Possibly, but that seems like a pretty relevant ability.
Well, because both, I'm actually not sure why both soldiers didn't block it to eat it too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Part of coming into a game partway through,
Is not knowing exactly.
not really
what's
knowing
going
what
on,
happened
right.
earlier.
He's gonna take 2 off of the Godless Shrine.
That's an Orzhov charm. That's actually the reason for the black splash.
Yeah, it is a sole black card in the deck.
It looks pretty
In
good
the main
here.
Deck anyway, I'm not sure what we have on the sideboard.
Being able to kill any creature in this format of gold and
Yeah.
black cards.
also being able
very
to return
relevant.
a 1-drop like a Soldier of the Pantheon is not irrelevant.
Yeah, you can recur a threat at instant speed with that.
Technically, you can recur a Judge's Familiar, and then sacrifice it to.
That's sweet.
Is
2
that-
mana force spike.
Does Orzhov? Let me just check something real quick.
I'm here though. I'm ready to play.
And they scoop up their cards.
Yeah, it just
Looks like they're tied 1
it
and 1.
returns the creature to the battlefield, so it can basically act as a 2-mana force spike if you have a Judge's Familiar in your graveyard.
Or if you have one in play, you can sacrifice it and then bring it back.
Yeah, or that's
So,
a
like,
2-mana force
yeah,
spike.
yeah.
Yeah, or like a
Double.
rune snag with no cards in the graveyard. With no other rune snags in the graveyard.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're using 2 cards for it.
Right.
But I mean, sometimes a double daze is what you need.
That seems fine. And
Look at these sweet tokens.
so something new we're doing at TCGPlayer is we're presenting author tokens. So if you play in a max point event next year, you're going to get author tokens. That's me on the right and Craig Wesco on the left. And we'll be introducing more author tokens as we go. But if you guys want, now you can use Craig Wesco or myself as the tokens for your matches.
Craig Wesco being a elemental token, which makes sense
token.
because he won a Pro Tour with Voice of Resurgence.
Yep, and I am a white soldier. I basically wanted a token that I could use with cards that are actually being played now, and Elspeth makes 3/1/1 white creatures. So
I like that logic.
I'll be a soldier. And then you can see Elspeth on the top. And something else that we're expanding into is also the Max Point series into Hero Clicks. So if you guys like Hero Clicks and you want more competitive events, ask your store to get Max Point events because they're now available for the Hero Clicks game.
Or if you don't know HeroClix, this is a reason to learn. There's now a competitive scene for this game.
Yeah. And HeroClix has been around for like 10 years, so.
2 matches decided so far. Going to be going into the game 3 here pretty soon of Reginbald versus McClain. Orzhov Aggro versus Mono Blue Devotion.
All right, I'm going to step out of the booth for just 1 minute. I have
as can be expected, the Esper match is taking a while. The Ben Weinberg versus Andrew Calderon. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how Brendan is sideboarding for this matchup. He's got a couple Last Breaths in the sideboard. He's got a Precinct Captain, 2 Celestial Flare, 2 Fiendslayer Paladins, 2 Ajani, Caller of the Pride, 3 Glare of Heresy, and 3 Sin Collectors. Now, the Sin Collectors and the Glare of Heresies clearly do not have enough targets to be worth bringing in. Ajani, Caller of the Pride, is kind of interesting, but the Mono Blue deck has flyers, and you're also kind of on the back foot. Josh McClain's going to be on the play here. It doesn't really make much sense to bring in Ajani. It's more of a card for control matchups where you want one threat to pressure the opponent to make them like burn their sweepers. It's also a card that like accrues value over several turns, which isn't very good in an aggro type creature battle mirror because the game's going to be over very quickly. Fiendslayer Paladin, like Lifelink is useful, but not that useful. The protections don't really matter, not really worth bringing in. Celestial Flare is interesting, Last Breath is interesting, and Precinct Captain is interesting. I am not familiar enough with this deck to say whether he's going to be shaving threats for any of these removal options, but they are that. They are options. Josh McClain's sideboard: Dissolve, 1 Binding of Thassa, 2 Rapid Hybridization, 1 Negate, 4 Gainsay, 1 Cyclonic Rift, 1 Curse of the Swine, 1 Jace Architect of Thought, 2 Jace Memory Adept, and 1 Domestication. Of that, I really like the Domestication, and not much of the rest. These are a lot of cards to augment. Oh, and looks like we're starting out here. Josh McClain opening out aggressively with a turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor. Brendan returning the action with a Soldier of the Pantheon. Judge is familiar. Evolve. Alright, Brendan gains a life. Surf for 1 pass turn. Soldier is so good. I remember testing this format, and every time I was playing a white aggressive deck, Soldier was doing lots of work. Cards like Boros Reckoner, Loxodon Smiter just get almost bricked by this innocuous little 2/1. People are playing all these gold cards to add to their devotion counts, and Soldier really punishes them for that. It is the right threat for the format. Imposing Sovereign, so it's going to be difficult for Josh McClain to block this game. All of his blockers are going to come into play tapped. Not that Soldier of the Pantheon was an easy card to block in the first place. Can't really see McClain's hand. Maybe that's a Nightveil Spectre? Yeah, that's what's coming down here. And just play tapped, evolve, life gain trigger. Probably going to get attacked for, I would imagine, 2 here. I would probably leave the Judge's Familiar back so that the Imposing Sovereign can't attack. Oh, he leaves it all back. Interesting. Yeah, the Cloudfin Raptor is kind of bricking the Soldier of the Pantheon, too. A Spear of Heliod would be interesting here. It would be really difficult for Josh to make a profitable block if Brendan did have a Spear of Heliod. I don't see one in his hand, though. I see a bunch of Skyjacks, a bunch of 2-mana 3/1s. Not the best. Oh, that's a Banisher Priest. That's pretty sweet. Exile the Cloudfin Raptor, bash in with the Soldier. It's probably his best line. Oh, there is a Spear. Yeah, so he actually has some decisions to make. I like both of those lines. Either play the Banisher Priest, exile the Cloudfin, attack for 2, or play the Spear and serve for 6. I can definitely understand Brendan's tank here. He goes with the Priest. I like it. The nice part about playing the Priest before the Spear is that when he eventually does play the Spear, he's going to get more value out of it. He's going to be adding more total power to the board because his board will be more developed. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, rather than clear the way for his creatures, he just took the best creature off Josh McClain's board. Brendan, clearly more experienced with this archetype than me.
Hello, guys. I'm back.
Sounds like Ben Weinberg lost his quarters.
So what did I miss here? What's going on?
Frank Lepore has just gotten back from his break. Josh McClain is trying to pressure Brendan. Brendan replied with a couple of threats of his own, played a Banisher Priest
I
on
like
the Nightveil
Banisher Priest in
Spectre.
this matchup.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
That guy's hard to remove if possible.
Right, there's like Cyclonic Rift maybe.
Yeah, that's only temporary. That's a temporary fix.
Yeah, super good in this matchup.
Yeah, real good. It's like an Oblivion Ring that can attack sometimes. If it
He also
wants to.
took a creature that I wasn't expecting him to.
That's a good dude,
Master
though.
of Waves comes down.
They all come into play. He's like imposing sovereign.
Do you know how many tapped tokens you just made?
You'll pardon me for imposing
many.
upon you.
Yeah, so this might have been one reason to hold the Banisher Priest and play the Spirit of Heliod last turn, is then he would still have the Banisher Priest to blink out the Master of Waves here. So that was another bit of depth to the decision that we didn't really touch on. I kind of like dumping a couple Skyjacks onto the board. Looks like Brandon agrees with me.
That's what's going to happen.
When that Spear of Heliod finally comes down, it's going to do a lot of damage.
It's going to make it really hard for him to block profitably. I kind of want him to find a way to get rid of that Master of Waves. Specifically because if he does that, that means that the Orzhov aggro deck goes into the semifinals, and the mono blue deck does not. No offense to Josh McClain.
We have Esper and Red-Green Ramp in the semifinals
Oh,
already.
did Esper win their match?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
we just saw Ben Weinberg lost. He walked by.
Okay, I was absent,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. I mean, not awesome that Ben lost, obviously.
Right,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh,
he was
Ben
clearly
lost?
very
Awesome.
frustrated that he lost
Yeah.
another quarterfinals.
Oh,
Very tight player. I like to see him do well.
I was going to say always a bridesmaid, never a bride, but Ben has been a bride a couple times, so can't really say that.
Consistently good players, once they reach the top 8 and they're facing other consistently good players, like the chances of them winning a match just plummet significantly because they're playing people of their own skill level.
Of their own skill level, yeah.
Whereas in the Swiss rounds, like you're generally playing people that are worse than you.
Correct.
If you are one of those people that deserves to be in the top 8.
Oh, and another Master of Waves.
So many tokens.
If we had a detention sphere right now, let me tell you how good that would be.
And they're double pumping the elementals that he already has.
Those are all 3/2s.
That's so
and
good.
he's trying to argue that the 3/2 token evolves the Cloudfin Raptor, and
Which it does.
Indeed does, because it's a 2/3 being pumped by a 3/3.
Yeah.
A 3/2.
The pump effect is static.
Correct. It is applied as they come into play.
Before even.
Correct. Right. Caleb Durward, ladies and gentlemen.
Serves for 3.
I keep thinking they fly. I wonder if that's deliberate, because it's kind of
that's
tilting.
interesting, yeah.
I just looked at that and I'm like, does he have any flyers that can block that? But it's not a flyer, so that's kind of weird.
They're sweet tokens though.
Oh yeah, they are, and that's
Those old,
probably
like,
why he
unglued
used them.
ones.
Yeah.
Not many people have those anymore.
No,
They were the first tokens ever made, correct?
Yeah. Well, we found a goblin token the other day. Remember that? And you were
I
like,
do remember.
I probably shouldn't play with this. It could be worth money.
Yeah, I have no clue.
And by play with it, Caleb was just messing around, like shuffling it in his hand. So, not actually playing with it within a game.
I mean, looking at these basics that I've been shuffling all weekend, they're all
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't do that to the
incredibly
goblin. I feel like his last name is a combination of Reginald and Archibald, both of which are
yeah.
very, very regal names.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're just
He's
Reginbald.
destined for greatness.
It feels like it, doesn't it? That's a good last name.
This is a tough board state, though.
It really is. That's 2 soldiers of the Pantheon there. Yep, there it
There's a
is.
Spear. I think the only way Brendan wins is if he rips Brave the Elements off the top.
That would be ridiculous.
And he might have to lose
You just name
creatures
blue.
to Josh's attack, and that
the
might not even be
meantime.
good enough. Yeah.
But he does have 4 Brave the Elements, so that's not impossible.
Right, but like, how much is Josh going to be attacking him for with all these elementals?
A lot. And I feel bad because if he had an answer for... Oh, God. Well, I guess he needs 2 answers for Master Waves. And, like,
Yeah,
Orzhov Charm would be great, or another Banisher Priest. Those would both be really good answers, but... You know, you don't really have the time to find them right now.
And all the elementals would still stay in play because there's still another there's
yeah,
still
you'd
another
have,
Master
you'd
Waves.
have to get rid
Yeah.
of both of them at this point.
Maybe if he ripped back to back.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if that's good enough.
Look
Oh,
how
no,
many
the fear-
tokens. Look how many tokens that is. Jeez, they're all 3 power too. No, I don't think. I think we're in bad shape right now for Brendan.
Is that your expert decision?
I will.
Your expert analysis?
I will put my professional stamp on that. Bad shape for Brendan. That's the name of my book. That's the name of my indie band.
Hey, that's not a bad indie band name.
No, it's good. It's good.
Josh wants to be very certain he makes a good attack here.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, if you have this many creatures, you'd be tempted to just turn them all sideways and let the opponent just figure it out. You know. Turn them sideways. That's what the kids say anyway. I don't know.
If McClain attacks for less than lethal, if I was Brendan, I would just take it. I would snap take it and hope to rip that Honor of the Pure. I think that's the only way he wins this game. I guess the other way would be if Josh made a bad attack, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, it seems like he's putting a lot of thought
3,
into
4,
it.
5,
So
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage coming at Brendan. I'd just eat 13. Be like, yup, I'm at 5. My turn.
yeah, I mean, you just take it and you hope that it doesn't like you have like 1 turn now. So
Yep.
come on, 1 time, brave the elements.
I think, is that a
3, 4, 6,
Cyclonic
7,
Rift in
8, 9, 10,
McClain's
11,
hand?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If it is,
I
that's
think, yeah,
really scary.
I think that locks the game up.
You
If
sure?
that is in fact a Cyclonic Rift, and I think it is.
It looked like a Frostburn weird to me, but I could
There's
be
a
wrong.
Frostburn Word too. There's two cards.
Oh. It looked
Yep,
the other
and
one
he
looked like a
plays the Frostburn.
land. Gains 2, goes to 5. Or goes to 7, depends on which Yep, 7.
He's hoping for Brave. I don't
That
think
looks like a
was it.
Mutavault.
I think that looks like a Mutavault too. Is he playing Mutavaults?
I would hope so. Yep, looks like they're 3.
Yep. Yeah, that is not the Brave the Elements.
He's like, am I done here? Do I get to go home now?
I think so.
I think he might.
There's too many creatures. 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh
it's-
is definitely representing lethal
Oh yeah.
through Brendan's blockers. And even if he had enough blockers, he'd be losing his force
He'd be
to a
losing.
pile of
Yeah,
elementals.
he would have
so.
no guys left. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
Brendan's
just
just going ham. These are all tapping sideways. I hope you do something ridiculous.
he's gonna be like no blocks.
All right, Josh blocking one of the flyers. We're taking 7, going to 11. And he would have 17 damage on the crackback, not counting the Frostburn weird. Because I didn't see it under his wrist at first.
Or the Master of Waves themselves.
I was counting those.
Okay. They often don't get in there, though. That's why.
But when there's no blockers, like,
They're
or
pacifists,
if they're
man.
attacking for lethal.
They're very.
He wrote down "not the brave" on his
Nice.
his pamphlet. Yep.
And that's
He
the
was
game.
aware of what he was drawing to.
Grand Prix champion Josh McClain
Does
advances
not
to the
know that
semifinals.
McClain had that.